My name is Gloria, and this story is about my meddling mother-in-law, Jen. So me and Tom are college sweethearts and that annoying couple who are lost in love with each other. We dated for 5 years before getting married and moving in together. Everything was well in our life except for two people who constantly became an issue. They were Jen and Tom's ex-girlfriend, Laura. Tom and Laura were actually together for a total of 3 years. Their relationship broke down because she cheated on him with a friend. Tom was devastated and broke it off immediately. Laura didn't want to break up because she was in love with Tom. She never got over him and created problems in our lives regularly. So, where does my mother-in-law feature in all of this? Well, she was the one who encouraged Laura to try and steal Tom from me. My relationship with Jen was cordial, but we were never close. I was, however, always eager to have a better relationship with her. That chance ended when I got into an accident and became partially disabled. I had to quit my job, and Tom convinced me to become a stay-at-home wife. Jen saw this as me becoming a burden on her son and not being good enough. She was also very vocal about these things. She always said, "Tom, I really don't think he should marry this woman. Gloria can't even walk properly. How will she take care of you?" "Mom, why are you saying things like that? I love Gloria, and I know she loves me too. That is enough for me. I don't care that she's disabled." "Now, you don't understand, Tom. She's taking advantage of you. Did you see how she dropped her work and became a housewife so suddenly? That's because she cannot continue her job like this." "Mom, I was the one who suggested that she stay home. I earn well enough for the two of us. It's not a problem." "I don't know, Tom. I really think you should give Laura another chance. She's still willing to marry you, you know." There it was, Jen said it again. There was always a comparison between me and Laura. Jen loved Laura and made it known every chance she got. She actively encouraged Laura and Tom to meet up. She even ambushed Tom with surprise lunches with Laura when they were supposed to have Mother's Sundays. This, along with her constant belittling of me, made us move away to a different city. Jen was angry and blamed me for the move, but it was Tom who insisted on the move. He was sick of both his mom and Laura. He tried to set boundaries with Jen, but nothing worked. So the best option was to move. After we moved, Jen got fewer opportunities to meddle in my marriage. We were happy for a few months until 6 months later, one day, Jen randomly showed up at our new house and demanded to stay with us. Apparently, she got evicted and didn't have a place to stay. Tom was really uncomfortable with the situation and didn't know what to do. We talked about it and let Jen stay with us. I thought it would be a great opportunity to bond and improve our relationship with each other. But Jen had other plans. Fast forward to 6 more months, and suddenly Laura is in our city too. Jen told Tom immediately. She said, "Tom, I need to tell you that Laura is in this town now. She was being abused by her partner and had to move to get away from him. She's really broken and needs a friend. You and Laura had been so close. I think you should check up on her for old time's sake." "I don't know, Mom. I feel bad for her, but she has made me very uncomfortable in the past. I don't think reestablishing a relationship would be wise." "How could you say that, Tom? The poor girl has been through hell and was traumatized. You should be there to support her. I didn't raise you to be such an unempathetic man." Tom was in a rut, and I knew Jen's words got to him. I also felt sorry for Laura and told Tom that it was okay if he reached out. I won't lie to you guys, but Tom was still hesitant. But he reached out to Laura out of concern. They talked, and everything was going well. That was until Tom sat me down one day and said, "Gloria, I think there's something fishy going on. Laura and I talk sometimes, but she has been pushing for a relationship. I tried to get her off my back, but she got Mom involved. Now even Mom is saying that I should give it a shot. Wait, what? Jen wants you to cheat on me? What the hell? This is just plain evil. I'm at a loss for words. Was this all a ploy to get rid of me? That's exactly what I was thinking, Gloria. I don't think Laura's suffering or anything. She's pretty well and has been harassing me to have an affair. It is disgusting, and I don't know what to do. My poor husband had been stuck in a bad situation again. I couldn't believe the freaking audacity of Laura and Jen. We did some digging and found out that Laura didn't have any partner or boyfriend. She wasn't being abused at all. She simply left her job and moved here to be closer to us. She did it all on Jen's instruction. How did we find out? A friend of Laura told us because she was disgusted with those stupid women's plans. The friend wanted to get it off her chest and found an outlet when we asked her. All this information made my blood boil. Tom was also mad, but had a hard time believing that his mother would do something so outrageous. I knew then that we needed to confront Jen directly. Laura was no one to us, so we didn't bother with her. Jen was living on our money and betraying our trust. It was hard to swallow. So we sat Jen down and confronted her. Mom, we need to discuss something very serious. I don't like the way you have been encouraging me to have an affair with Laura. It's rude and super disrespectful to both me and Gloria. Oh, God, don't be so sensitive about your wife, Tom. It's common knowledge that Laura is more suited for you than Gloria. Mom, have you forgotten the fact that Tom and I are married? I haven't forgotten anything, Gloria. Even if I try, your useless face keeps popping in front of me in this house all day. Mom, you will not speak to Gloria like that. None of us appreciate what you have been doing. We also know that there is no abusive boyfriend of Laura when you keep talking about. Jen looked a little flustered when Tom said that. It was a dead giveaway that she was caught in a lie, but Jen quickly went back to her nonchalant self. So, we were right. You did this all on purpose. How could you, Mom? Tom, there was no other way. You need to get back to Laura. That poor woman is still pining for you. It just breaks my heart. She should have been here instead of Gloria. You know, I never liked your useless wife anyway. Wow, so you still think I'm useless and not good enough for Tom. How can you be so cruel towards me, Jen? You openly admitted that you want your son to have an affair because you like the other woman more. There is no reason for me to hide the fact that I love Laura. She will be a better wife than you. I always thought she would be a great match for my dear son. Why would I tell my son to compromise with a woman like you when he can do so much better? So you are telling me that Tom is better off with her than me. Good to know that, Jen. I see that Laura is now more important to you than anyone in this house. Of course she is, Gloria. My poor son was trapped by you and didn't see things clearly in the past. But now you can see that he has come to his senses. He wants to make things right with Laura, so soon he will divorce you and Laura will take your place. That was the last straw for me. I was already very pissed with Jen, but her nonchalance pushed me over the edge. Tom looked horrified by what his mom was saying and was completely dumbfounded. I guess the severity of Jen's disgust for me overwhelmed him. But then again, he also hadn't thought Jen would suggest that he cheat on me. For me, Jen's insistence was enough to make me go nuclear on her. I already had a plan in mind, and now I was going to execute it. I calmly looked her in the eye and said, So, you think Laura is better for Tom and a better daughter-in-law for you as well? Yes, I believe it completely. Laura is 1,000 times better than you, Gloria. Okay then, you can go live with her now. You won't be allowed to live in this house anymore. Let me know when you plan to move. I would suggest that you do it within a few weeks. Gloria looked a little stunned by my declaration. I will be honest and say that my tone was pretty intense because I was mad as hell. She wasn't expecting me to snap at her like that. That shocked my mother-in-law a lot. She quickly composed herself and said, "Nice try, Gloria, but I am not going anywhere. This is my home, and so I will stay here. If there is anyone who should be moving out, it would be you, since Tom will now divorce you anyway. You better start packing." "You heard what I said, Jen. You will be the one moving out, and I want that to happen as soon as possible. And this house is not yours. Don't be delusional." "Well, okay, the house is not mine, but it is my son's house. As his mom, I have the right to live. It's only a matter of time before he kicks you out anyway. After that, me, Tom, and Laura will say good riddance and have a nice life here." I looked at her and laughed. I couldn't believe how delusional Jen was. I mean, it's fine if she had assumed that Tom and I both owned the house, but this woman was sure that I had no part in this house. Jen looked a little uncomfortable and confused by my laughter, while Tom was getting angry at her by the second. Jen was really bringing out the big guns, but this time she was the one going down. Jen looked at me nastily and then said, "What the hell are you laughing for?" I didn't say anything funny. "The house is my son's, and he will marry Laura after he leaves you for good." "Mom, what universe are you living in? How delusional can you be? Do you think that I would cheat on my freaking wife? She is the woman I love and will always love. Laura and I were just talking because she was in a bad place. Now I can see that this was all a setup by you and her. Don't be mad at me, Tom. I only gave Laura your phone number because she was crying about it. The poor girl loves you so much, and I know that you love her too. You don't have to stay with your useless wife anymore. You can make things right with Laura by divorcing Gloria. For the last freaking time, I'm not leaving my wife. Gloria is the love of my life, and she will always be that. Laura is nothing to me, and I have already told her that." Jen was now shocked by her own son's tone. It was extremely clear that Tom was raging mad at Jen and wasn't going to agree with her ridiculous plan. Jen gulped slowly and then looked at me. I only smirked at her to show her that she wasn't going to get her way. Gloria didn't like that at all. She was trying to get Tom to calm down when I said, "So, you have heard what Tom has said. He's not leaving me or cheating on me with Laura. And there is no way we are getting a divorce just because you love Laura more than me. So now that we have established that, it's time for you to move out. What are you even talking about?" Tom is just a little confused and mad at the situation. Just give him some time and see how he embraces his feelings for Laura. Then he will ask me to stay and tell you to leave. That is never going to happen, Jen. Your son won't suddenly develop feelings for Laura. Now, as for the house, he can't ask you to stay and kick me out. Why the hell not, Gloria? This is Tom's house, so he has the right to keep whoever he wants here. You are very funny. It's surprising how you immediately assumed that the house completely belonged to Tom. I guess a useless daughter-in-law like me can't buy a house. Sorry to inform you, Jen, this house is actually mine. Gloria looked at me like I had lost my mind. She couldn't believe her ears. When I told her that the house she lived in belonged to me, how could a stay-at-home wife like me buy a house? It was impossible. That was her reasoning. What she didn't know was that I had bought the house all by myself. I had used money from my inheritance to fund the house. Tom told me to only put my name on the house because it rightfully belonged to me. That's why he was hesitant to host his mother when she asked to stay with us. I should have kicked her out right then, but I wanted to have a civil relationship with Jen. I had no idea I was inviting a freaking snake into my house. All this while, Jen was happily living and eating on our money while influencing Tom to cheat on me with Laura. But she wasn't going to have that opportunity anymore. I would be kicking her out somehow. This still didn't get through to her fixed skull. She said, "Those are lies, Tom. Look what your horrible wife is saying. She is claiming that this is her house and she will kick me out." "Mom, this is her house indeed. Gloria bought it with her own money from her inheritance. She is the sole owner of this house." Did you hear that, Jen? I hope you believe me now since your own son confirmed it for you. But then again, you don't seem to be listening to your son either. Jen now knew that the house did indeed belong to me and I was within my rights to kick her out. This sent her into a panic, especially because Tom didn't seem very keen on following her plans. Jen had been sure so far that Tom would soon be madly in love with Laura again and leave me. I didn't think she had thought of what would happen if her son refused to adhere to her plan. Anyway, since the truth already came out, I said, "So, when can we expect you to move out?" "Oh, you still can't kick me out. My son will protect me and keep me here. He won't kick his mom out. Gloria is the homeowner, Mom. You will do as she says. I won't interfere here since it's not my house. If she tells you to move out, you will." "What? But you're married to her, so this is your house too, right? I know you wouldn't want your mother homeless." "Don't make me laugh, Mom. Trust me, even if the house was in my name, I would still kick you out. Do you think I have forgotten the fact that you have tried to destroy my marriage? What makes you think I will let that go?" Jen was now visibly getting more panicked. She started to tremble and had tears in her eyes. It became clear to her again that she was being kicked out. She had turned to her son for help, but he refused to do anything about it. In fact, he was insisting Jen to leave and never show up at my house again. Jen knew that she had to do some groveling. She started to cry and tried to turn the story around, painting herself to be the victim. She said, "Tom, don't be so mad at me. I only did what I thought would be the best for you. I really didn't want to cause trouble." "Oh, really, Jen? You think trying to break up a marriage doesn't qualify as causing trouble? You encouraged your son to cheat on me. There is no use shedding tears anymore, Mom. Thank God I realized your plan early on and didn't fall into your stupid trap. I would never have cheated on Gloria, but God knows what more plans you would have come up with. And that's like reason number 101 for why we are kicking you out of my house for good. I let you live here rent-free, and my husband paid all your bills only so that we could come closer as a family. You went out of your way to be nasty to me and blew up everything for yourself. We will never forgive that. Actually, it would be best if you move out and do not contact us again. We need time apart from you to see if we ever want a relationship with you again." Tom was really turning out to be a champion. He was doing everything necessary to put my nasty mother-in-law in her place. He knew that we had tolerated her for a long time, and it was now game over for her. Jen was finding everything just too much to handle. Here she was dreaming about setting up a family with Tom and Laura. Now she's being kicked out of her living space, and her son is going no contact. Jen started to bawl and beg. She said, "Guys, please. It was a small mistake. Let's not rush into a decision right now. I swear. I will talk to Laura and tell her to back off. Please, guys, let's talk this out." "No thanks, Jen. We have done enough talking today to know your motives completely. There is no way I'm keeping you in this house after you insulted me like that. Just tell me when you plan to move out this month. I need a date. Gloria, please. We're family. We can get through this. I'm ready for a relationship with you. I want to give you a fair chance, like you want." "Too late, Jen. I don't want it anymore. So, since you are not keen on giving me a moving date, I will go and get an eviction notice. I believe that will be enough to kick you out for good." "Oh my God, how can you say that, Gloria? Tom, your wife is trying to throw me out. Will you really allow that? I will personally pack your bags and drop them outside with you, Mom. I am with Jen. Plus, I already told you that I don't want anything to do with you right now. Gloria continued to cry and reason with us while we ignored her. After a while, we went to our room and shut ourselves in. We talked more about the issues we had with Jen and Laura. Tom was super remorseful for not being more intuitive and wanted to make amends. We agreed to try couples counseling because staying with Jen really did a number on us. The next morning, Jen continued to pester us with apologies. She sometimes lost her fake sadness and got mad at me for not forgiving her. I really tried hard to ignore her antics because I knew I was going to kick her out soon. That day, Tom took me to a lawyer to prepare an eviction notice for Jen. When we came back home and informed her about it, she started another tantrum, thinking we would succumb and cancel the eviction. Well, it didn't work. She tried for weeks before giving up and packing her bags. She said some angry stuff about us regretting our decision and how she would go live with Laura. She also told Tom that he should leave me and come to Laura's house if he knew what was best for him. That made him slam the door in her face. Jen's anger didn't last till the evening. She was back at our house and cried to be let in. What happened, you may ask? Well, Laura refused to house her. Of course, by then, Tom had written her a lengthy message about staying the heck away from us before he'd locked her. When Laura realized that there was no way she could get Tom through Jen anymore, she refused to help her. Jen was not even allowed into her apartment when she went to stay with Laura. So, she was now back with her bags at our house. Did we forgive her and let her in? Of course not. She was told to leave our property and not to contact us again. We later learned that she had to take an emergency flight to her sister in a different state. Tom and I attended therapy as we had planned. A lot of stuff came out, and I'm happy to say that we are doing much better. Not having a disturbing mother-in-law like Jen was a bonus as well. When Tom realized how peaceful we were without his nightmare of a mother, he made the decision to go no contact for good. We informed his aunt, who was Jen's sister, since she was currently hosting Jen. We needed to tell her to convey our decision. Jen went ballistic while her sister agreed with her. She promised to make sure that my crazy mother-in-law stayed away from us, and so far, it has been smooth sailing. Overall, things are going pretty well. And if you want some advice from me, I will say one thing. If you have a mother-in-law like mine, get rid of her like I did.